This is Julian and no shake it with flavor.
Original root boy, Mr. Flavor, upon the dancer, alongside Julia and D. Oyolima, Dano, Liberia, another one.
Liberians, the war is over. Let's celebrate peace.
Mastercraft on the beat.
I never felt a love like this, so peaceful and secure.
Liberia, are you ready for the real conversation? From breaking headlines to community voices, from politics and entertainment to youth empowerment and national development. This is Real Talk Liberia, a platform where truth meets the people. Real stories, real issues, real solutions.
This is Julian and no shake it with flavor.
Original root boy, Mr. Flavor, upon the dancer, alongside Julia and D. Oyolima, Dano, Liberia, another one.
Liberians, the war. This is Julian and no shake it with flavor.
Original root boy, Mr. Flavor, upon the dancer, alongside Julia and D. Oyolima, Dano, Liberia, another one.
Liberians, the war is over. Let's celebrate peace.
Mastercraft on the beat.
And I tell you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are following us from based on your location. And this is how I would like to welcome you to another splendid edition of the program Real Talk Liberia on this August 24th Flag Day, where we are observing another year of standing strong as a nation and fighting all of those challenges that have come at our doorstep. So wherever you are this morning, however you're following us, I would like to say a pleasant welcome to you wherever you are. And I just hope that you are good in health and with a sound mind, and that you are thinking about doing something positive, that will benefit you, the nation Liberia at large. For this too is Mama Liberia, and all we need are positive thinkers. People with positive thinking that can move our nation forward. So wherever you are, this is how I would like to welcome you to this edition of the program Real Talk Liberia as we discuss our flag. And you know, this flag is very interesting. This flag is very important to our nation because this is what shows that yes, indeed, Liberia is a sovereign nation. Liberia is a free nation, and Liberia is an independent country. So wherever you are this morning, however you do us, I would like to say a pleasant welcome to you. Stay tuned, don't you go away as we take music here on this program. This one is done by Judy Andy and with Flavor Nabania, and I call it Etulelele. And this is just great for Liberia. There are times that we forget about our traditions. There are times that we forget about who we are as Liberians. There are times that we just forget about everything about Liberia, and we allow there's so much politics to come into our hearts, to come into our heads, to come into our minds, and just confuse us and make us to forget who we are as Liberians. And so today we are going to be looking at that. We are going to be having a discussion about that and get to know who we are. What should we be doing? I mean, looking at our past, looking at our present, and looking at our future, what can we do as Liberians to make this country a great one? Everywhere you go, Ghanaians say Ghana is always great. Trump said make America great again. So Liberians, what are we doing for Liberia? Are we making Liberia great again, or we are going to continue to damage this country? Well, I would say stay tuned. Don't you go away as we come back to have more discussion on this program, Real Talk Liberia, with me, David Siwadu. Stay tuned and don't you go away. Let's invite
This is Julian No Shake It with Flavor. My
Original root boy, Mr. Flavor, upon the dancer alongside Julia and D. Oyolima, Dano, Liberia, another one.
Liberians, the war is over. Let's celebrate peace.
Mastercraft on the beat.
And yes, indeed, let us come together as one. Let us come together as a nation. Let us come together as people who mean well for our country, Liberia. The war is over. Elections are over. We're waiting for 2029 before we get to another elections. So why then can't we as Liberians put ourselves together and make our nation a better one? Well, so folks, if you just join us, a pleasant welcome to you. This is the program Real Talk Liberia with me, David Siwolu, and like I said, we are going to be having some interesting discussion here today about our flag, looking at our past, looking at our present, and looking at our future. Where are we heading? What have we achieved as a country? And these are things that we actually need to talk about because they are very much important to the growth and development of the country. If we do not talk about these things, definitely Liberia will continue to be at a place where we will continue to struggle to find ourselves, one, and to make our nation a better one. Because we cannot continue this way, because the more we continue to live as a people that are divided, a people that are separated, a people that are always into confusion, definitely our country Liberia will continue to be a backward nation. So let's push forward for our nation. Let's make our country a better one and make sure that Liberia becomes who she was before. Now remember, this was a country that people from other nations used to run to in terms of advices, in terms of international or diplomatic intervention. People, other nations used to run to this country for help. How come now we as Liberians, we are reached at a place where we are always being looked down upon? How can we as Liberia, we are reached at a point where nations that used to run to us, nations that used to come to us for help, are the ones now that are trying to look down upon us? Why is this happening to this great nation? Well, I said there is a reason, and that reason is very simple. It's because we as Liberians, we do not value our country. We do not value our nation. So every time we sit and we say a whole lot of negative things, every time we say a whole lot of bad things about this country, and there are people who are listening to us. There are people who are hearing us, and once they hear these things that we are saying about our nation, especially negative things, they say to themselves, well, but then I see no reason why I should invest in this country. If even the citizens of this country cannot say something good about this nation, why should I go there to put in my resources? Why should I go there to invest? Why should I go there to try to help to develop the country? No. Once the citizens do not mean well for the country, it means I myself, I should not go to waste my resources. And that is just one. The second thing is, we have thousands of Liberians that are failing to invest into this country. There are millions of Liberians who are invested into other countries. There are thousands of Liberians who are putting all their resources, their funds into other countries, developing other countries, investing in other countries, having businesses in other countries, but yet and still they fail to do the same in Liberia. And when foreigners see that, they say, well, what is happening? Why is it that Liberians themselves are not investing into the country? Why is it that Liberians themselves are not developing their own country, but yet still they are developing other countries? And so why should I, as a foreigner, why should I, as a person who have no dealing, no attachment to Liberia, take my resources and bring into this country? And these are some of the reasons why Liberia continue to be where it is now. We as Liberians, we do not love the country. We as Liberians, we do not want to see our country being developed. And so we sit and we have a whole lot of negative things to say about the country. And the thing that hurt me above all is that we come and say all of the negative things. And when we are finished saying those negative things, we do not have anything positive to contribute. You will hear someone will come and they will spend 3 hours criticizing the country. They will have 3 hours talking all kinds of negative things about Liberia. But when you ask them, what are you doing? What are you doing to help to these problems that you are saying, that you are talking about? What are you doing? They become mute. They think that all they should do is to criticize. They think that all they should do is to just talk a whole lot of negative things. But they do not think that they should also contribute towards the growth and development of the country. And this is wrong. This is actually wrong for Liberia. I'm just saying this before we get into our discussion. I just want to make this clear. We Liberians are the ones that are destroying our own country. Why? Because we do not have love for our country. Why? Because we do not respect our leaders. Why? Because we have a whole lot of negative images to send out there to the outside world, making other people to look at this country to be a very unserious country. A very unserious country. And that is what is happening right now in this nation. And if we Liberians can put ourselves together and start to build the image of this nation, Liberia will become a great nation. Liberia will once again gain its respect. But until we can do that, Liberia will continue on the path of backwardness. Liberia will continue on the path of failure and will continue to experience all of the hardships that we are experiencing. So Liberians, today we are observing Flag Day. Let's come together as one. Let's build our country. Let's support our country. Let's make our country a better one. This country is for all of us. And I follow this Delicious travel agency, and I heard her, and she did a post that I read, and since then I've started asking myself, why we as Liberians cannot do this. She said she had been married to her husband for almost 6-7 years. And of all of those years that she had been married to her husband, and her husband is a Ghanaian. She said, with all of the time that I have stayed with my husband as a married woman, I've never heard him one day say something bad about Ghana. I've never heard him one day say something bad about Ghana. Everything he say about Ghana is good. Ghana is perfect. Ghana is well developed. Ghana is the best nation. And she said, because of this, I have built up a habit. I have said to myself that as of the time that I have known my husband, that he have never said anything bad about Ghana, I will never say anything bad about Liberia again. I mean, if we as Liberians can begin to build that mindset, just imagine what will happen in our nation. The image will start to portray out there to people so that they can see and know what this country is all about. But yet and still, we are not doing it. The only thing we know is to talk all of the negative things about Liberia. All of the negative things about Liberia. Those are the only things we know how to do. But when it comes to promoting the image of the country, we set ourselves and allow our country to be destroyed. We allow people to say all kinds of negative things about the country. And this is something that we need to start to work on as Liberians. We cannot keep on doing this to our nation. We have to come together as one. And that is the only way. That is the only way this nation will be a better one. Because if we do not do it, definitely Liberia will continue on this path that it is on, and we will not see anything better for our country. So, fellow Liberians, before we get into our discussion, I just wanted to have this brief conversation with you so that you can sit and talk and ask yourself and know that yes, indeed, I am a Liberian and I need to stand up for Liberia, no matter what. But most of us, what we do is that we stay more for political party. Most of us, what we do, we stay more for political interest instead of standing for Liberia. And this is wrong. This is not something we should be doing as Liberians. For Liberia is always first. And that is how we should think about it. That is how we should think about it. So today we are observing Flag Day, and I would like to say a pleasant welcome to you to the program Real Talk Liberia with me, David. And there are a lot of interesting things that we are going to be talking about. First of all, the Liberian flag is one of the most important national symbols in Liberia. Why? That is because it represents our country's history. It represents our country's independence. It represents the unity of our nation, Liberia, and most of all, a close historical relationship with the United States. And this is quite important. When you see the flag, you should see togetherness. If you see the flag, you see love for the nation. When you see the flag, you should only think Liberia. But other people can have the Liberia flag in their hand. At the same time, they have a political party flag in their hand, and they respect the political party flag more than the Liberia flag. Why should we keep doing this to our country? So let's go through some brief history. Before the Liberian flag, before Liberia became independent, what were some of those things that used to happen? Before Liberia became independent, the territory was associated with what? The American Colonization Society. And they established settlements for former slaves in America to come on the West African coast. And in the year 1822, the settlement then later became Liberia. That is where it started to become established. But at that time, Liberia did not have a flag of its own. At that time, we never had a flag that we have here. No, we pass the flag. No. No, we never had it. But we started to establish ourselves as Liberians, as people that wanted to unite, that people who wanted to form themselves and create a nation of liberty, of freedom, of unity, of love. And so our forefathers put themselves together and begin to work on that. And so on July 26, 1847, following the independence, Liberia adopted its own national flag. But the original Liberian flag was designed with the strong similarity of the United States. You know, that is why every time we say our parents, our baby put in America, because we're next to America. In Africa, we're next country. We're a small America. So when we created the flag, we created it in the same way that the American flag was created. Why? It was because we wanted to reflect the historical connection between Liberia and that of the United States. We did not want it for history to forget that America played a very important role in Liberia's existence. So in order to appreciate America for that, we created our flag in a similar way that the American flag was made. And this alone, anyone sees this, they say, yeah, this country is truly small America. And that is how Liberia started, as a small Liberia, a small America. And most of all, those who came and founded this place, they were all people, free slave, people then are left from America and came down to the West African coast. So that connection could not be destroyed. We couldn't have lost those connections. So in order to keep it, we said, well, it's much better that we continue to have symbols that will always be recognized, or that will always recognize the part America played in the issue or the process of Liberia becoming an independent state. Now, the meaning of the flag. First of all, the present Liberian flag has 11 stripes, 6 red, 5 white, and a blue square in the upper left corner. And that blue square or that blue field contains a single star. The single star. And the red stripe represent the courage and the sacrifices made in the struggle for freedom for Liberia. The blood that was shed, the struggles, the sacrifices. That is what the red stripe represents. And then the white stripe represents purity. It represents peace. It represents the ideas upon which the nation was founded. This nation was founded to be a peaceful nation, a nation of love, a nation that will pave the way for people to come and feel free. That is why this is the free land of liberty. You see, things that are happening in this country, you don't see it in other countries. People come from anywhere, they live freely. They feel at home. There are people that are living in Liberia now. If they leave this country and go to their own country, they will not feel loved. They will not feel at home as they are feeling now in Liberia. So that was the idea of the founding fathers, that this country should be a free country, this country should be a country of peace, this country should be a country that welcomes everyone. And that is why the white stripes represent. And then the blue field. The blue field represents the African continent and the country's commitment to liberty and justice. That represents the commitment that Liberia has made, that will always make sure that the issue of liberty and justice remain high on our agenda. And then we come to the white star. And this white star represents Liberia's status as being the only independent republic in Africa, and the country urged for sovereignty and freedom. And that is why the West Star represent. And the 11 straps, they represent the 11 signatories to Liberia's Declaration of Independence. So we get to understand that from the beginning of time up to this stage, everything that have been done was done with an idea of keeping Liberia as a sovereign nation first, a free nation second, a nation of peace, a nation of liberty, a nation that is there for everyone. That everyone enter this country, they feel at home, they feel at peace. So when all of these things were being made, there was a mindset, there was an idea that the founding fathers were pushing. And the only way we can keep this idea going forward is if we Liberians come together as one and stand for peace, irrespective of our political affiliation, irrespective of our religious background, irrespective of our tribal background. Let's always make sure that we remember that we are Liberians, and that cannot be taken from us. So there is a need that we always put Liberia first, because this was the idea of the founding fathers. And if we cannot keep this running, if we get on a path of division, if we get on a path of separation, oh man, the forefathers will regret. Feel disappointed. They are already disappointed in us right now for what we are doing. They are disappointed in us right now for what we are doing. They are disappointed in us. Why? Because an idea that they built up, an idea that they wanted to sustain. This is an idea that we all now are no longer supporting. This is an idea now that we all are no longer doing what was needed, what was expected from each and every one of us. We are no longer doing that. We come and we take this country to be just a country that was just for and just a play country. We no longer live according to what was expected of us, what the forefather wanted us to do as a nation, what they expected from us. Now every day we go, we see chaos. Every day we go, we see tension. Every day we go, we see problems. Why? Because we as a nation, we are no longer a people of love. We are no longer a people of unity. We are no longer a people that needed to live as a nation of peace. So why then are we continuously doing this to our nation? Why? There is a need that we come together as one. There is a need. Because this country, I mean, it depends on us to do what we can do best. So if each and every one of us starts to forget about our responsibility, and everyone has a responsibility to this nation, everyone of us have a part that we need to play towards the peace and stability of this nation. So if we continue to do this, what then can we expect of our children? What then can we expect of our children's children? What? So Liberians, we have a part to play. We have a part to play. And if we are not playing those parts, it means definitely we do not mean well for the country. Now, let's look at the flag and its independence. The Liberian flag begins very much significant after Liberia declared 26, 1847. The declaration established Liberia as an independent republic. And Liberia is widely recognized as Africa's oldest modern republic. And its independence became an important historical milestone in Africa. Just imagine that. Liberia, the oldest, is still at this level. Why? Because we as Liberians, we do not care for our country. We do not have this country at heart. So because of that, we fail to do what is needed to be done. We fail to do what is expected of each and every one of us. We allow our country to go down the drain. We allow our country to become a country of laughter. That when you say I'm a Liberian, people start to look at you in a different way. And this is because of how we as Liberians have carried ourselves and have placed or portrayed our country out there to others. This flag is very important. There was a time when you hear Flag Day is coming, every house will have a flag on it. I can remember I was somewhere coming up, and there used to be inspectors. Inspectors. Those people will be deployed in the various communities. They will walk from house to house. And if you do not have a flag, you are in problem. If you do not have a flag on your house, you will be in serious problem. But this time, we do not see those things happening. Why? Because we are allowing our flag to lose its values. We no longer care about the importance of this flag. Before, at various school campuses, when a flag is being hosted, you can be woo. You will have to stand. You have to stand until that flag is hosted up before you start to move. But these days, what we see as the flag is being hosted, people are walking around. People do not even care. Even to salute the flag these days, it's a problem. It's a serious problem. And these things are happening. Why? That is because one thing, certain people never wanted us to continue our culture, our national respect. They wanted us to lose it. So what did they do? They decided to move civic education from in the various schools. For almost 6, 7, 8, 9 years plus, civics education have been removed from the curriculum. I think it's only this year that I'm hearing that civic education is coming back into the curriculum. But before, the civic education was removed from our curriculum. Schools stopped teaching civics education. How can you run an institution? How can you have a country and you are building people up and those people do not know their civic duties? They do not know their responsibility to the state. This is why we have a whole lot of people running helter scatter. This is why we have a whole lot of people here who do not mean well for the country. This is why we have a whole lot of people here who they do not have a single heart for the country. Why? Because they are no longer being taught about their responsibility as a citizen of this nation. Why will you take civic education from in schools? Do you know the impact of what you did? Do you know? Now we have people around, they just walking, they know nothing about the country. They can't sing the national anthem. They can't sing the Lone Star Forever. The national anthem, the first stanza, the second stanza, they don't know it. They don't know the Lone Star Forever. They don't know the pledge. They know nothing patriotic about the nation. Why? Because our leaders sat down and took civic education from in the various schools. And now we have almost a whole generation of people who know nothing about Liberia. Who knows nothing about Liberia. I mean, how can we do this to the nation? How can we make our nation to lose its significance? How can we make this nation to be a laughing stock out there? What were we thinking when we started to do these things? And yet then still, we see these people, they still come and claim to have love for the nation. You have love for the nation, you have a whole generation who know nothing about the country. You took civic education from these schools. And so because of that, we have a whole lot of people who do not even know how to sing the national anthem. They do not know how to say the pledge. The national anthem, the first stanza, the second stanza, they do not know it. They do not know the pledge. They do not know the rooster forever. When they hear us singing those songs, they just sit and look because they have not been taught those things. Our leaders taught those things from in the schools. Those are things that needed to be taught in every schools in Liberia. But our leaders sat down. I don't know what came to their mind. Maybe they never wanted the whole generation to know about Liberia history or those patriotic things that they needed to know. So they removed it from in the schools. And now we have people here who do not have love for the country because they were not taught about their responsibility. They were not taught about their duties or their commitment to the country. They were not taught about it. And so because of that, they do not care about the country. People can get up this time and call for chaos. People can get up this time and call for war to come in the country. Why? Because they do not know their responsibility or their commitment to the state. And this is where Liberia is falling. Because you have almost a generation that don't know anything patriotic about the country. Why? Because our leaders took civic education from the schools. Back then when I was growing up, you get flare to your house, that problem. You have to get flare hanging from your house. But this time it's just that nothing. Anybody can get out anytime and just walk away. They don't care about putting flag to their house anymore. Back then, there used to be inspectors. Those people used to be deployed in the various communities across the country. They will inspect from house to house to make sure that you have your flag up. But now, we do not see these things happening again. Why? Because our leaders have made the country to lose its love or respect for patriotic symbols in this country. National symbols, we no longer respect national symbols. This time you put in flag, you hosting a flag, people are walking. You hosting a flag, people doing different things. I bet you before, let the flag be hosted and then you walk. If you not get beaten, you will eat your tapping. You will eat your serious tapping for walking while the flag is being hosted. But this time nobody cares. Nobody cares. The flag is being hosted and people do their own things, enjoy themselves. And I bet you now, you visit the various ministries. There are very few of them now that have the flag hosted. There are just very few of them that have the flag hosted. I bet you today, just take a walk. Only few have the flag hosted. But yet and still we get up and claim to have love for Liberia. I love Liberia. I love my country. You love your country, you do not have a single thing they call love for your country. You do not have it. Because if you did, you will make sure that you do what is right, what is needed to be done for this nation. But you are not doing it. You are not doing it. So we as Liberians, we need to come together and understand ourselves if we want this nation to be a better one. If we want this nation to be a better one, we need to come together as one. We cannot have Flag Day here. We celebrating Flag Day, but then we have all of our houses. They just that. Yes, he flag. We have to understand that our flag are more than just the red, white, and blue. Our flag represents our history. Our flag represents our independence. Our flag represents our identity as Liberians. And most of all, our flag reminds us that despite our differences, we are one nation. But now, we do not care about that. We allow our differences to separate us. We allow our differences to bring divisions among us. And that flag should be a symbol of unity. And so today, on this program, I want to ask some very important questions. Very important question. And the first thing is, what does the Liberian flag really mean to us as Liberians? What does the flag mean to us? Number two, why do we celebrate August 24th? When we no longer have love for the country, we no longer have love for the flag. Why do we celebrate August 24th Day? And number four, why young Liberians do not care to understand the meaning behind the flag? And most importantly, are we living up to the values of our national flag? Are we living up to that value? The value that that flag has. Are we living up to it? Are we giving the value to that flag? And the question is basically no, we are not. We are not. Because there is no more respect for the flag. People no longer respect the flag. These days, the flag and 4.5 people be common. I bet you back then, get a Liberia flag in your hand and you throw it on the ground. You will see the group that will be you. You will take your tapping for throwing Liberia flag down. You will take a serious tapping for throwing Liberia flag down. But these days, people can do a whole lot of foolish things with the flag. You women are taking pictures of the flag. They naked themselves. Put the flag to places that, I mean, what sense does it make? You take a nation, national symbol and desecrate it like that? What sense does it make? But these are things that we see. These are things that we see. And we allow this thing to continue happening. We no longer criticize these things. We no longer criticize these things. We allow them. We consider them now to be normal thing. And this is wrong for the nation. We have to respect our nation flag, our national symbols. We need to respect them as Liberians. You see other nations. You see how important they take their flags. For example, the America, I would say with small America. If America go to war, you shooting, you launching grenade, you firing missile, American soldiers will make sure they get their flag when they move from there. If they don't get a flag, they will never move from there. I can educate in there. They will make sure they get a flag when they move from there. That is the importance of the flag. But we Liberians, we do not care about those things. We desecrate our flag. We make our flag to be just a piece of cloth with all of the importance this flag has. And on today, we are observing Flag Day. And this is a day that provides an opportunity for Liberians to honor the national symbols and reflect on patriotism, national unity, and the country's history. We have talked about the past. We are talking about the present. We'll soon get to the future. And this is not just simply an holiday. Like you say, oh yes, I need to, I'm going to work, man, let me rest myself. No. There are actions that need to be taken. And one of those actions is to make sure that you have your flag hung at the front of your house. The second thing is that this is a day that's supposed to be used as a day of reflection. Reflect on your country past. Reflect on the present thing that is happening. And reflect from now on what becomes of Liberia. But sometimes we celebrate. The only thing we think, oh, is just to get drink a liquor, get drunk, enjoy ourselves. And we do not care no more about understanding what this holiday really means. Some of us would just take the holiday to be our drinking liquor day, our jolly day. That's what we take this holiday to be. And nothing else. We do not even care about the flag. And this is wrong on our part. We as Liberians need to be patriotic for our nation and stop doing what we are doing now. Because it is not right. It is not right. And the more we continue to do these things, the more we allow other nations to look down upon us. You cannot respect yourself. Who will respect you? If you can't respect yourself, who do you expect to respect you? And that is why we need to reflect. We need to think and put ourselves together as one people. Most of the time we see people, they carry the flag, they have the flag on them. You have people, they put it on. You see school organizing flag day program. You see government building. Now every plenty, only a few government building get the flag now. Only a few government building have the flags on them. But the question is, do we really understand the significance of this flag day? Do we really understand the true meaning, the true purpose of this flag day? Do we understand it? Do we know? Or we just think about drinking our liquor and enjoying ourselves? I believe that is the only thing that we are doing. And the only way these flags, these national symbols can become meaningful is as the citizens, if they understand what these symbols represent. That is the only way these national symbols will become meaningful. If not, Liberia or Liberians will continue to desecrate our flag every day. Me, I know the flag, they will start, pictures will soon start coming up. You'll see people start putting the flag in their butt. People will start putting the flag between their legs. We'll see pictures. I'm saying this because I know it will happen. People will be sitting on the flag, they will spread the flag on the ground, they will sit down on the national symbol. People will do that today without a single respect for the flag. But yet and still, people come and say, I love my country. I get love my. You get love for what? You get love for what? You get love for what? You have nothing to call love for your country. Because if you have love for your country, the first thing you will do is to respect the national symbol. And when we're talking about respecting national symbol, the thing we see here around here, well, anybody can get a draw the police there and fight the police there. The man got a flag on him. And you jump on him to fight him, you join him to beat him. You think you respect your country? You don't respect your country. You have no respect for this land. You have no respect for this land. And this is what Liberia is transcending into. A nation of disrespect, a nation of disregard for authorities, disregard for national symbols, disregard for religious authorities, disregard for our fellow friends. And this is where Liberia is heading. And if nothing is done about this, Liberia will reach at a point where there will be no more control for this country. And we do not want that to start to happen. So please, Liberians, let us do what is right. Let us live and do what is right. Let us live as we should. And stop desecrating our national symbols. Stop putting our flag in your butt. Stop putting our flag between your legs. That is not the place for it. So why are you doing it? Don't you have respect for the national symbols? Don't you have respect for your country's sovereignty? Don't you have respect? So why do you keep desecrating our national symbols? You get a flag dashing on the ground. And I keep on saying this. It is because we as Liberians will no longer have respect for our country. So we allow these things to happen. But I dare you before, I dare you in the past to tell Liberia flag and put it in your butt. Anyway you air it, people will find you and beat you. You will take your tapping for it. Before, I dare you to take a Liberian flag and drop it on the ground. You will see the amount of people that will beat you for it. You will take tapping for it again. You will take your serious tapping for it. But this thing happen. And we say we laugh with it. Oh, she throwing a flag down. Oh, he throwing a flag down. Oh, she put a flag in her bottle. And we take it to be normal thing now. That is because we are losing respect for our country. And there is only one reason why this is happening. Because our leaders decided to take civic education from schools. This was a very bad decision that any leader could have done. To take civic education from his school, a subject that should have been teaching the young people how to respect the nation. A subject that should have been teaching the young people how to respect the national symbols. You take it from in schools. For almost 10 years plus. Then you expect people to respect the national symbol. No, that will not happen. And this is why people do not have love for the country anymore. Anyone can get out and say that walk on. Anyone can get out and call for chaos. Akaras get out and get out and take out talks. They march in the street and beat people. I even know anything about civic education said. And these are things we need to look at. You need to have love for your country. Despite the political differences, despite the tribal background, despite the religious affiliation, you still need to have love for the country. Without the country, you will not have any of those things that you give all of your life to. So there is a need that you take your country very seriously than any other thing. Because if Liberia move from here today, you will not have no CDC, you will not have no United Party, you will not have no CMC, you don't have any ANC. If Liberia move from here today, you don't have Methodist, you don't have Catholic, you don't have Baptist, you don't have Sagitele, you don't have no religious gathering. If there is no Liberia, if there is no Liberia, there will be no Basso man, there will be no Dio man, no Mano man, no Loma man, no Pere man, no Bandi man, no Kisi man, no Madingo man. You will not have them again once there is no Liberia. So you better think twice and think about making Liberia a better place. You better think twice and make Liberia a better place. And let us stop doing these things that we are doing, these confused things that we are doing. Let us stop doing it. The flag, our national symbols, are our identity. You have the flag on you. Nobody needs to ask you, are you a Liberian? No. Because once the person sees it, they say, no, that person is a Liberian. For the fact they are moving with the Liberian flag. So whether you are from Maserado, whether you are from Nima, whether you are from Grand Bassa, whether you are from Lofa, whether you're from Bon, whether you're from Maryland, whether you're from Grand Gila, Sano, River G, Grand Q, River Sess, Bombi, Babolu, or Magibi, the flag belongs to you. And you need to uphold the dignity of that flag. You need to uphold the dignity of that flag. Our national identity must always be bigger than our individual differences. It should always be bigger than our individual differences. And let's put ourselves together. And this is why I want to appreciate the government for seeing reason to bring back the issue of civic education in schools. I heard that it's coming back, and I hope it is true, because there is a need that civic education be brought back in schools. We cannot and must not abandon our national symbols. We should never do that. Yeah, you know, but they wouldn't know that red, white, and blue. I feel like red, white, and blue. You ask them how many scraps, they didn't know how many scraps. You ask them what the colors represent, they do not know what the colors represent. Why? Because they were not taught. It was taken from the various schools. And so these kids are growing out without the knowledge of our national symbols. Instead, we expect people to be signed in the country. We are just reaching to the place of seeing more Christian people. We will continue to see more Christian people in the country. So let the issue of civic education be brought back in schools. Let people get to know about their national symbols. Let people learn the facts. Let them know about what these things represent. They need to learn the history behind these national symbols. They need to know the value these national symbols represent. They need to also know the responsibility that comes with being a Liberian citizen. They need to know. So there is a need that we start to do these things. And as a Liberian citizen, you have series of responsibility. One is to respect the law. Two is to protect public property. We see that won't happen here again. And then some more protests are happening this time, but the public people can go be sporting. Sue ready to take rack and destroy the campus. When Sue ready to take all the chairs, they break it. Then ready to come and say no chair. When Sue ready or pro side ready, they destroy the entire campus building. Then you get a building, no good facility. You get yourself on and destroy the facility, then you say no good facility. Your responsibility is to protect public property. But are we doing that? No, we destroy these public properties. As a Liberian citizen, your duty and responsibility is to promote peace. But we are not doing it anymore. How will we do it? Well, even our national leaders are not promoting peace. Our national leaders are not promoting peace. So how can a common man promote peace? As a Liberian citizen, your responsibility is to respect other people. You have to be honest. You have to take education seriously. You have to protect the environment. You have to reject violence. You have to participate in positive community development. How many of us as Liberians are doing these things? How many of us? But we sit and claim to have law for our country. Is that what you call law for country? Some of us are joking. Some of us are joking. We are really joking. And we need to come together and do what is right for our country. And do what is right. Because if we do not do what is right, we as Liberians will continue to be the one that will struggle. We as Liberians will continue to be the loser. So let's come together and do what is right for Mama Liberia. Let's take this break to be right back.
This is Julian No Shake It with flavor. My
Original root boy, Mr. Flavor, upon the dancer, alongside Julia and D. Oyolima, Ghana, Liberia, another one.
Liberians, the war is over. Let's celebrate peace.
Mastercraft on the beat.
It's lelele. It's lelele. It's lelele. It's lelele. It's lelele.
Yes, indeed, the war is over now. Let's come together as one, Liberians. I mean, it's time that we forget about all of these things that we continuously do, man. Fighting ourselves, destroying our country, doing things that are not right. I mean, it's about time that we forget about all of these things and come together as one for the sake of Mama Liberia. Let's make our nation a better one. We cannot keep on doing things that is not right for our country. There is a need that will do these things. That will make Liberia a better nation. We cannot keep on looking down on our country. So, folks, wherever you are, however you join us live, I would like to say many thanks to all of you for following this program. Wow, time have caught up with me. And so I have to take my leave of you. And I would like to say many thanks to everyone who have been here with me on this edition of the program, Real Talk Liberia. It has been great being here with you, sharing some knowledge, having some discussion, and talking about Liberian flag. You know, this flag is very important. So we have to talk about it and make sure that those who do not know get to know. So, folks, on this line, I have been your presenter on Real Talk Liberia, David Siwalu, and I would like to say many thanks for being there while I was here, and do have yourself a wonderful time. You can join us again on the next edition of the program whenever we will be coming up. But until then, bye bye from my end, and do have yourself a wonderful time. Bye bye.
Liberia.